Welcome, I'm Mick, an ordinary lad, and this is Sovereign Warriors.
Obviously, there's the you usually go three. It goes one to the bank, one to England, and obviously one to the parents. And that's what you come as well. Parents, you probably know about this one as well. Pay rent. So you pay rent.
Yeah.
You become a pay rent. You rent. You get your custody over the child, but having custody doesn't mean you actually own the child. No. A child, again, an infant as well. Infant and child as well. They're two legalised names.
Yeah.
So infant, you can't speak. You know, so. You use these words, entrap you again, you sign it, you're an informant.
You're supposed to, apparently, there's plenty of people out there that can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. If you refer to your kids, your children or whatever, as your property,
yes,
they have to back off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and that's how you can win your kids back. If they've took them off you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not right up on the SS, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not right up on them lot.
Because everything else is classed as goods.
Yeah.
So goods is classed as commerce through business.
Yeah.
And so that can be taken away.
Yeah, but they can't take your property. So you're always, if they start going on about my son, my daughter, my kids, you're building you're digging a hole for yourself. Yeah. They're your property.
It is, and it's a sneaky thing that they do.
Yeah, well, that's
because that's when you like I say, when you get a certificate and you register. Remember, register. You hand register anything. They own it. Then you give away your rights. When you register, your children get registered. It's a birth certificate goes to the registrar of births and deaths.
Yeah.
So it gets there. So you've given that, and that's when the government can they can come to you and take your children.
Yeah.
And those sort of things.
That's why they can crush your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are all things that have been and obviously we go back to when the birth certificate, it gets securitized. So that gets securitized, gets bonded, and then they create a trust, and that trust is like it's called the SECD. Trusted people might have heard of that. So. And
when did that start exactly?
Yeah, this also
centuries. You're talking centuries.
It is, yeah. Without again, you can go really in deep for this, it's probably there's better videos out there who can go and explain it a lot better, but along the 1500s or so, it actually started with Pope Boniface the Eighth. He the Unum Sanctum. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
The Unum Sanctum, which is it's like the Holy Church, the one who lives, the one and only. And an Unum Sanctum, it was Pope Boniface. It gave him authority over everybody. That's what he was. He was the one.
What do you mean by everybody? The world, or
pretty much any living person that owned, he had authority over. What Unum Sanctum means, the Holy One, the one who speaks, is from the Christ and has the authority from them as such. So he gave that as such, and then they did another one as well. So one's property, one's your own property, and one's your soul. There's three of them over the century that they changed as such. As for the birth certificates, they pretty much started, I think, along the 1800s and 30s odd, was pretty much the first when they started doing the births and deaths.
Yeah.
But then it got changed, I think, about 1850. They that went to it came into government thing, so it came like pretty much mandatory. And I think the Act came in about 1870, something like that. So it used to be
So they've been at it a while then, haven't they?
Yeah.
With knowing what they're doing. Yeah.
But it wasn't so much with the surname. That came a little bit later with that, such the entrampment there. I'm not too sure the times for that as such, for the connection. But yeah, obviously with the birth certificate, they changed it a few times as such. Obviously, don't forget to do three. So three, sort of say. So which is your property, your land, your property, which is yourself, your land, and also your soul as well, which goes there.
What do you mean by your soul?
Well, the soul is obviously when.
How can they own your soul?
Exactly. So, and this is the horrible things that they do. And that, but that's what they claim that they do, and it's obviously when on the birth certificate, when you're born in a hospital, they take a footprint of your sole of your foot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I know that.
And we know we changed. Obviously, we use double meanings. So the soul,
Yeah,
so
right.
they claim that as a soul.
Yeah, right.
You there, and it's a stamp on there, and then they take that. And that's what they do.
I knew that about the foot, but I didn't know that bit about the soul and the connection. I didn't know that myself. That's
and that's the sort of things that they do as such. And I think it's worked through obviously your birth, so your birth certificate. Then there's the christening, so you get baptised, and then there was like the communion as well. So the Holy Three as such, and that take there.
Yeah.
So.
The Son, the Holy Ghost, or whatever it is, isn't it? That's what it represents, all that crap.
Son and the Father and the Holy Ghost.
That's it, yeah. But they're trying to steal it from you, aren't they? Yeah. You mentioned the Sesquivy Trust. What's that exactly? I mean, I do know, but I mean, explain it to the viewers that don't know, please, because it's very important.
Yeah, the Sesquivy one, it means he lives, the one who lives, or the one who has rights over. So it's the one who lives. So that was, again, first of all, I think that was created, again, at the 1500s or something, 15th century as such. First of all, it was created, and then it was, again, more emphasised in 1660, 1666, so after the plague and the fire of London.
What we all lost at sea that year.
Pretty much, so and that's what they classed it as, the Holy See, lost at sea.
Yeah.
So we had this, and what the Sesquivy was they put your property into trust, and that. So King Henry wanted that more of such. So it's like when people used to go on wars and things, and they didn't want to go away because they'd lose the property or no one would look after the property, so they put it into trust for the family. So, and when if they're away for 7 years and no one returned back after 7 years,
they claimed it.
The government actually claimed it as such. So that was generally pretty much as the Sesquivy and what the trust was all about from there on. And then they've pretty much capitalised on that over the centuries of such. And now the two separate entities as such, it becomes your trusted, bonded trust with your birth certificate.
But that was originally for the families of the fallen blokes or whoever in the war. So how come we not getting our trust now then?
He creates. Remember, he creates, owns. So the Sesquivy,
but what I'm saying is they gave it them because their husband wasn't coming back from war or whatever you're saying, aren't you?
Yeah.
So why are we not getting on? That's the way I'm looking at it.
Because it wasn't...
Because it wasn't designed for that.
It wasn't designed. It was designed to take it. It was a land take as such. It was so they had to get something. So they gave it a grace of 7 years. And then if they have that there, then they could actually then take that land back.
And that's So is that the 7 years, as in like when you register as a kid, you've got 7 years to sort of pull out of that,
to pull out of it. That's correct. That's what they say. Again, because most land was owned, and then you had your own little plot there, and so obviously the landlord obviously had the tenant owner of that land as such. Had 7 years to keep that for you. Unless you came back from war, you can give that back. If not, then you can take that back. That sort of thing. So, coming up to what we have now is it's a trust again. As it says. So they put things into that trust, and that's what's bonded to your name from your birth certificate comes onto the Sesquivy Trust. Yeah. And because it's he who creates it's made into the corporate world of the system. Yeah. As such. So we do know that certain people have managed to access that trust, so it does exist. Even so, people say it's a made-up conspiracy, but it does exist. And,
I know it exists
because
there's
an act.
I've been on a watch court. There's an act.
Sesquivy Tree Act as well. Yeah. We can actually get onto. I don't know what year that was. I forgot that one. But yeah, it does exist. So people have managed to access it and use it.
Well, I've put my so-called details in and everything. Yes. Well, I didn't. I'm crap on a computer, but Mick from COB, he did it in front of me. Yes. And you can go through all the companies that are trading on my name.
There's a website you can go on. So
it does exist. Yeah, definitely.
So anything that's got a number, remember, it's been legalised, it's corporised, and then it's owned by somebody. So your birth certificate has that number in there. You can put it into that site, and you can see where, where it's gone unowned. Yeah. You can also put your national insurance in. Put that in a certain mechanism way.
That's the way I did it actually, by putting the national.
any that you've got a marriage certificate, anything that's got a number. You can even your council tax. You got a number.
Yeah.
And you can put that into that, and that you can see it's been monetised because it's got your name. It's been signed.
Yeah.
So anything that has that sort of thing gets monetised onto it, and it gets taken out, added on for your trust because it's got that much money in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but when we know that the two separate entities, but they bring them in together as such. So
yeah. But it's designed for that, isn't it? That's what it's designed for, to get you in, to tie you into it all. Like you say, to join Dio and everything else, get the money out of you.
Yeah. So,
can you give me an example of that, please?
Oh, blimey, yes.
If you can.
Yeah, you would do, mate. It's your PA, right? All your questions for you, mate. He's giving them. He sorts you out. It's put me a bit on the spot. Right.